Another beautiful form of art is acting. And I like to use this example a lot because I grew up on this. This is part of my childhood, and the WWE is full of art, acting, and entertainment. And one of the greatest artists or actors in the WWE history, in my opinion, is The Undertaker, because of the image that he was able to portray to the audience, to paint a picture in their minds, to have them attracted to the whole story. To be a Undertaker, to deal with burials and death, and then to portray that character as a dead man, and to have an assistant, as a guy named Paul Bearer, to deal with caskets and stuff like that. To actually paint that image in the audience head, it brought it to life. Because that's what art is. It's animations. It's beauty. It's creation. It's to be able to paint a storyline. You know, and I bring up the Undertaker, also known as Mark Calloway, because how many people can play a dead man, take them off of the streets, and can play a dead man for 30 years, to portray a character as a dead man and to play it so flawlessly, to play it so excellently, as a form of art. The image that he was able to paint and portray to bring entertainment to us. This is the beauty of art. This is the beauty of art and music, where we get articulation from. To be able to have a play on words in order to paint a picture, or to paint a storyline in someone's consciousness or imagination. Now, this is what draws people to art or to certain songs. And so I bring up The Undertaker because of his profound ability to portray a dead man for so long. The art behind it, the beauty and, the character he played, is a perfect definition of how art runs the world and how everything is art. You see a beautiful building, you're attracted to it because of art, not just because of the beauty, not just because of the colors, but because of the art behind it, the articulation, or how it may make you feel, or what kind of story or imagination that it might give you. What's inside of that building? Why does it look like that? Why does it have that many colors? You're intrigued on what's behind the art. Everything in nature is art. And I just wanted to touch on art for a second because, it's truly how one also becomes successful. You know, it's all about, the character you play, or the image that you can portray to someone else's mind to be able to draw their attention. That is what art truly is.